on the beat. Oh yeah. You tempted by the hustle. You tempted by the game. By the hustle. You tempted by the hustle. You tempted by the hustle. You tempted by the game.
Hey, you know what is
Hey.
funny? I just announced you and I did a great announcement and realized that I was on mute.
Oh no! I was wondering what was going on.
I'm gonna tell you my whole life I need help, Henry. I need you here. Help me. I don't
Oh my
know.
goodness! It's funny that we both know StreamYard at least because I already got my destination set, so at least we ain't got to go through that fuss.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh, because right at the last minute I was talking to my daughter in New York. And so
Oh,
I was like, the 1 minute I was like, oh, I got 15 more minutes. And I looked and I said, I got 5 minutes. And I said, wait a second. But
I
everybody,
don't blame
please
you.
allow me to introduce you once again to the magnanimous Henry Cole. I don't know. I have never asked you about your pronouns. So I never want to be disrespectful because I just always loved the Smith and Wesson. Smith and Wesson, like that's all. That's like will forever be in my head as my pronouns. You know.
I gotta post that. Yeah, I gotta make that known. Not there any. It doesn't. People ask me that, and I do appreciate the respect. But a lot goes into why I just kind of go by any. And that, we can most certainly cover that, but we can always move on too. So yeah, and it's whatever the situation is. I don't mind any.
Okay, and
Bro, I
that
guess I
doesn't
don't
mean
know.
that. Yeah, because I remember before when you said, "Oh, it's interesting that I was calling you a he," and then I said, "Well, wait a minute. You know what? I was not being right to ask you in the beginning because some people do have that. Some people are a little too loud when they tell you that it's like it's okay, to be that. But the way that you flow, that's what got me really interested in from the beginning that we were on the podcast.
I
You
do
have
like the
this,
flow. I try to flow.
you do, you have this ease about you, even when you're upset about things. It's a righteous cause of why you are upset. And so I just really appreciate that. And I'm going to go into the questions now. And then what I'm going to do is that with a little bit of time, I might play one or two songs that we can just jam to by SGF Graham.
I love SGF Graham.
Yes, so I do have two of his songs to play. So we might just play that in between just to kind of knock the things off because the good thing is that, well, not in a good way, but my 8 o'clock had to cancel until tomorrow. So I have more time to talk with you. Unless you're like, get off of here, Christy. You know what I mean? Like I don't look good for no reason. Like
Right. That's no, it's okay. It happens. I don't have enough minutes, hours, days in the day. It seems to just accomplish everything. So
exactly. So
I
let's
get
go ahead
twisted
and
up.
dive into it with you have had an interesting journey that I would like for you to share with our audience. Start with what drew you to music.
Well, I was born in Port Huron to a couple of opera singers, and my dad was actually a luthier. He builds. He's still with us. He builds harpsichords and pianos, and ever since I was little, I had music in the house, especially classical and Baroque, and I grew up listening, and they played Mozart and Bach and maybe not so much Beethoven because it was pretty heavy, but they played that into Vivaldi. Maybe that's why I love the Four Seasons so much into my mom's tummy when I was in there. And So I was born into a lot of music all around me, and it wasn't until I was much later in life that I actually tried to apply myself to doing it. Strangely enough, but outside of luthiership with my dad and just kind of building and maintaining and renting instruments, so it was always around me. It was the seed was planted from a very young age. I was always moved by music. I had a big personality shift in about middle school where different music started affecting me differently.
Uh-huh.
It was strange. I guess I could have been classified. I got into middle school and I got really into ICP. No, I'm not going to throw no shade on the Juggalos or anything, but I was trapped listening to that forever. Just the same thing because it's kind of a cult mentality about it, the Juggalos. And then I picked up Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, after my dad was like, listen to this, and I picked it up on it. Oh, I need a guitar, apparently.
Right.
That and Alice in Chains kind of really got me into what spoke to me on a big level, but there's so much more. Even Slipknot. I started off listening to a lot of really heavy music because it was the perfect escape from what my life became, which was really hard after a while with a lot of alcohol-induced trauma. So. Yeah, that was a great way about it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that with a lot of the travesties that we look back in life and then we look to see how it shaped us to be, and once we find that part that works, that actually doesn't create the drama or has to live through the traumas so hard, and it starts to lighten up, you can start to see the light in yourself, and shine. It comes from them tough moments. Unfortunately, we have to go through those moments and times. We don't pick and choose, and I don't know why we're thinking that we're going to reinvent the wheel. As long as we're with mankind, all we can do is keep talking about what we can do. And on this Selfie Care Saturdays, I'm willing to talk to one podcast host to another, and really get into the groove of why we do that. Why are we thinking that we're reinventing the wheel, when we're trying to just really say, keep hope alive, you know what I mean? And every generation is like, keep it going. So with that being said, you answered the question about when did you discover you could sing, I think, but I wanted to ask you really about your singing at the top level, because I don't know if you know it, but you're on that top level.
I appreciate you saying that. I do my best.
I really need people to hear you.
I really want to do more with music, and I've been saying that for a long time, but I get caught up in so many things, and I do them, and I put in time and investment into them, and then I'm like, wait a second, you're not doing music. And I've been practicing a lot in the last few days. I've been kind of nomadic, as it says, nomadic musician. That is 100% true. And the weather's been harsh, so I'm not out playing. I get out and I play live, and that's been one of the big things. I'm also trying to record music, but that's always been kind of difficult. For just, I don't know why. I hate recording music. It never comes out. I want to take forever and make everything 100% right. Will it ever be 100% right? Kimberly. Kimberly said, "Don't be trauma become
my burden." It's an episode I want to cover. Okay.
She actually told me just get pissed off and do it. And someone else said I should record a live album so I don't have to rake myself over the coals, because I always do better live. So that's kind of two things I really want to do with music. But I appreciate you saying that. Sometimes I need to hear it.
Yeah. And she also says, me too, I need to get them into a studio and streets more. It must have been something that you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I love music. It's such a big part of my life. And I love you too, Kimberly.
I love you. Yeah. That's beautiful.
It's ingrained to read those comments. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I gotta let you read. That's your show.
It's funny because for the past couple episodes because I was using my computer, and now I have to get a certain special headphones for that kind of computer. So I started using my phone, and I'm like, ugh, okay, I don't want it all close because I have to get a new stand. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So streaming it on Facebook, I wasn't seeing the comments. One moment I did, and then I stopped seeing them. So somebody said, oh, it's because your page is private. So I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to do it today for privacy, the private. And then it ended up coming through. So now I can see the the comments.
I'm telling you, the hardest thing about being a musician, it seems these days, is Facebook, is social media. Oh my goodness, it saps the creativity right out of me to even think about Facebook. If I'm out there playing to a tree or something, I'm playing my best life, and I put a camera on, and I'm like, oh, I got a bee entertainment. That's
Yeah,
bad.
right, right. And that's why sometimes that camera, does the trick as far as like the picture, because I got in a Tyson fight, but we're gonna move on through that and say Queen Kim said, "Thank you for having this platform from artists and friends. Absolutely, everybody's on here tomorrow. I have a person, Brandon Lang, coming through at 4 p.m. No, I'm sorry, we're doing it at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. But he just opened up his first hot sauce shop. I mean, his business is hot shops and he does all types of sauces. And
wow,
so
that sounds awesome.
I want the entrepreneurs. I've got people coming in from the Professional Pulse magazine. I've had Chris of the Void, who his publishing company is House of the Void in Canada, and they also get you an IBN number in the United States. So you can have your copy written in two countries instead of just one. So we're having a lot of great people. It's really, really fun. And I get to go ahead, read the next comment because
It's difficult to, we did a bad. I said, it's different with your phone, a lot to adjust to.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But either way, I'm not too slow on computers, but I know enough, you know what I mean? But not enough to where I'm like, oh, okay, wait a minute now, where everything was going on. So yeah, it's going to take a minute, but we're definitely going to work it out. And she says Henry loves hot sauce.
I do. I do. Oh my. I primarily use my phone when I'm not on site with Kimberly. I'm on the phone. That's because I got forced to for so long. I'm just badass with it now at this point. I always get my link set up really quick, last spur of the moment, and like I normally do.
And that's what I
And
was
it's like a
asking.
computer.
So with you, because asking, these things with everybody, but I do want to get back, because I want to put my attention back onto you and highlight you for a moment. Thank you for commenting, Queen Kim, and thank you for everybody who's watching and will be watching. So, what does it feel like to be just in the moment of singing while playing your guitar?
It's the
And
best thing in the world. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I was meant to cut my thing.
It feels 100% right. Oh, a lot of things don't feel right to me a lot of the time for whatever reason, but playing and singing always did. Once I started doing it, it's just, it's just everything to me. And that's the same when I speak of recording. It just doesn't feel the same as when I'm playing live. There's this captured real feel of it, and I love interacting with audiences, and just right. It feels correct, and I think they enjoy it. So, if everybody's having a good time, I'm having a good time.
Yeah, it's that, I guess, the freedom from caring about anything. Like you said, when the camera comes on us, as soon as it's lights, camera, action, then it's a whole different thing. How will you navigate that in the future then when you are going into the studio?
I mean, I may or may not have music recorded. Actually, I got music recorded all over the place. I've had people record some stuff and it got dropped and I haven't followed up with them, or it's been interesting interactions, lives, and I got to go and start trying to scoop it up and get a hold of them. It's one of the reasons I'm in Michigan, is to follow up on one of those leads, to be honest with you. Oh, shit, I blew the lid on that. I'm definitely not in Michigan. Don't follow me or find me. Um, or do. I don't know. It depends on what you're looking for. You freaking-
Yeah.
Yes, I am here. I really want to shoot a music video at the Pink Elephant Bar in Smiths Creek. That's what I want to do while I'm here, and it's very simple. I just got to do it.
Okay.
It's conflicting. If I can find a way to get them cameras on, get some kind of lackey maybe who can just turn the camera on when I stub my toe and I'm angry, then it'd be good. But aside from that, I don't know. It's like Truman Show me. Maybe it'd be funnier when I'm not under pressure.
Right.
Or I am.
Yes, but here's the thing that I just did because I knew nothing about this whole thing and what you can do and how amazing the things that we can do and use our power and our, who we are to help others. And it's neat to see that. I didn't know what to do, and my friend in Wales, just met him. I was always watching the shows, and it was fun. It was during COVID, and then it was like, wow, he was like, "Come live," and I was like, "Huh?" And I mean, I realized that it was I just dove right on in because I was like, okay, if you're not gonna at least try it and be uncomfortable, but break out of it, So we all find different ways of diving in and dealing with the uncomfortability. And I know you're gonna,
Yes.
once you do it, you're gonna. I'm telling you, the shine on you is amazing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I relate to the uncomfortable thing. I enjoy making myself more uncomfortable to feel comfortable. Um, I do plan on roughing it a lot this summer in the tent, and going to talk to more people. I had a really good time in Columbus interviewing, people and talking to people. Actually, I got to drop one more video on that. Forgot. But I really enjoy field work like that and interacting with others. That kind of gets it going in a different direction where I actually feel very creative on shit. But and Kimberly wants to do more field work too, which I couldn't agree more. So I feel very uncomfortable with comfy society. Like, I don't know, I played a little bit of video games hanging out with my brother in the last couple of days, and I love video games, but it just doesn't feel like something I have time for in my life right now. So
Right.
it's fun. Waste of time to me still.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah. Yeah. It gets to be. Everybody's got their thing going. And sometimes we unplug, but it's the way we unplug. And for me, I don't want to be on video. Seeing like a whole lot of, like watching YouTubes and just seeing so much content, because I realized that when I first found out and was like, okay, I might have a night of insomnia, and watching and seeing how much even interaction was going on at nighttime, then it made me start saying, oh, okay, this is how it is, but this is how people get burnout, you
yeah.
know. But what I saw in you when you were doing you were there going live, that was amazing to watch. It touched me in a
I
way. Go ahead, sweetie.
which one were you talking about?
The one that you did with the lady that was sitting at that building, and she
Oh,
was
okay.
that one, the one where you were talking about what you were doing, and what about your dad, and getting into somebody told you about just stick to singing. I got to see the other side of you, in which was so passionate, and it wasn't an anger or a rage of like, oh, this person is going to be so violent. It was a injustice. That's why I called it a righteous rage. I would say anger. I'm sorry, because you know, me rage is a little bit further than what you took it, but I'm just saying that. And then to just see you sit up there with Snoop Dogg hearing, you know, gin and juice and the cars and everything, and then the cars with the baby dolls on those Barbie dolls was just, I could. Oh my gosh.
You just got to see that one. Like I said, the pictures didn't do it justice. That was a crazy ass car.
That's what I was like. Oh, I couldn't imagine when you just walked up on it. Like, what?
I actually posted up next to it playing guitar, and people looking at the car threw a couple bucks in my hand. So I
Oh
may have
gosh,
utilized it.
I gotta look at. I didn't see that post.
I didn't post it. It just seemed like it was also quiet there, so it's perfect. It's almost
Oh
loud.
wow. Oh man, because that.
That was wild.
I said, "Oh my God!" So it was like a combinational thing that reminds me about people in the world who don't ever think that they're big enough. They're too big to do something of nature. Now, let me not get it twisted. I understand if Jay-Z can't go and perform there because there'll be way too many security people and all the details, you know what I mean? And something like that, yeah. We understand why you can't come back, you know, KRS-One, Rakim, all these greats, to any of, you know, any genre of music. I don't care what it is or, you know, what you do. When you reach a certain status, it's unfortunate, but you can't go back there like that because you have to be heavily armed. You know, 'cause somebody's going to want to do something to you. But I love the fact that the way that you set up your lifestyle is that you can still go ahead and give us some kind of music, give us something to think about while you're out there doing things. And that's what I tie in. It's you being a storyteller. And when I heard your music, I was like, oh my gosh, you know what? He's telling us a story. He's singing us a story, and I'm watching you live. So I'm going to be quiet because I want you to expand on that real quick for me.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of people actually asking about the content of my music. I guess I got about an album and a half worth of music, and easily the first album is kind of my descent into madness and alcoholism, and then ultimately climbing back up out of it. But I really kind of like being a little more vague with how I do music. So maybe it's called "How the West Was Won," was about me really sitting and thinking about quitting drinking. There's a lot of references to how it made me feel in my life, like I was kind of in the Wild West phase. And yeah, I try to use a lot of context with that. Um, I had Harry, my boyfriend. He asked me what boxed ears meant, and the song Smith Creek. I said, "You get boxed ears." It's a Thomas Edison reference. He got thrown off a railroad, a train car, because he was doing experiments and he set the train car on fire. So they threw his ass off in Smith Creek Station and said the conductor actually boxed his ears, which was a boop
What?
on either side. Yeah, I'm
Wow.
like, yeah. It means when you smack someone's ears real hard. So no one's gonna get that. Like unless they ask or know what box ears means. But that's a cool historical fact in my song about
I
Smith Creek,
love
where
that. I love that you know that.
I know a bunch of useless stuff. I don't know. It's not a useless, but it's
No, it's
for
not,
fun.
because it's fascinating because we don't talk about history. We don't. Everybody will
No,
say a saying, but then all of a sudden you don't even know where it originated from.
no, yeah, that's a whole other podcast. History's been
Right.
twisted. The people who saw history are starting to not be around anymore. So we're just going on text and speculation, and people ain't really reading the old books anymore, are they? I would hope some are. I see people with
Well, I hope
libraries, but
everybody is going to buy my book on January 14th or on. So, girl, don't count yourself out. The second series, You Can't Give Up Now, comes out January 14th. So please do buy my hardback. There's got to be book
yeah,
lovers out there, but we got the digital, which is cool because some people do need to do that, or audio.
that
You know,
That has helped a lot of people with reading.
We got
Having
to catch up on some of Kimberly's comments. The Queen has
oh my
been
god.
in here, and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm looking at this thing, make sure I have the banner so that way everything is going on. She says, 7 minutes ago, I got you, hold on. Then, wait a minute. Take that out.
Wayman.
Okay.
Wayman's is my favorite new word.
I'm going to hit up Drew Baby and R Buck plus my cousin Kenneth Lee Caldwell, Joe Cole,
Yeah.
Rob Buckley. Why has Smith Creek affected you in the song? She asked.
Why did Smith Creek? Well, it's song. I went to the bar there. They're not gonna get in trouble for this. I was drinking in the bar there from when I was very young, and I weaseled my way in. Actually, I just started playing guitar, and it just happened. And I spent a lot of time in that bar drinking and doing all kinds of stuff. And I don't know, it kind of helped form me a little bit in some type of way. I recently went back there a couple times and played, and it was actually really fun. So I definitely want to shoot the video there while I'm here. So that'd be dope.
Yeah.
But it played a huge part. It played a huge part in just everything. It's just kind of a character in my life. It became this huge character. It was also walking distance, so I would drive.
Okay, yeah. That always helps.
Yeah, no, it didn't help me. I was a terrible drunk driver. Don't excuse myself for any bit of it. I could have killed someone. It was attempted manslaughter. Crazy business.
And see, and this is what we need to be talking about, real things, because oh shoot, wait a minute. Oh my gosh, I almost ended the stream. Dear Lord, let me get my life together. I accidentally hit a button and I said, wait a minute. Oh no, don't end nothing. Wait. I'm going back to the questions, to the banners, you know what I mean, and make sure everybody understands this Journey and Gems with Farley and Friends and the Selfie Care Saturdays and who you are down there, you know, our beautiful co-host of Unseen Twisted Truths, Mental Health Matters podcast, the People's Podcast. I know it's a whole I know there was a whole lot of words, folks, but you guys all know because you guys see me on it. So bless up to the Queen and to DDH. Congratulations for everything that everybody's been doing out there in the streets, in the studios. Everybody is moving forward in the family, and it seems beautiful.
Yeah, and right back at you too, Christy. You've been busy as a bee, and I get that, and it's been awesome. I'm trying to share and like as much as I can, support you. It's beautiful, and
you have,
yeah.
and that's why I said that it's just genuine. Some things are just genuine, and I love it. You know what I mean? Because it brings that spark in your day that nobody has to know, but you smile because of that person. It makes you get up and say, you know what, I can't wait to do more because of that person. You know, you never know. So that's how you affect me. You get me up and going, which is what I'm leading to in please share with us what charitable things do you do with your gifts as far as the singing. You kind of touched on it a little bit with the homeless people, but just give us a little bit more into that.
There's a lot more I want to do through my music and a lot of interactions, especially with the podcast. I've been able to talk real time with a lot of people about addiction and trauma and PTSD. And of course, I kind of roll with the anonymity aspect of it, so I'm not going to disclose who. But I ended up talking to a lot of people. I was talking to a lot of veterans too, because I grew up with a lot of friends. They hadn't joined the services. I just knew a lot of veterans growing up, so I really enjoy talking to them on topics of what I do. I reach people with music when I'm playing live with that all the time. Something I really want to do is more stage performances like TED Talks, where I actually talk about my past, drinking, and ways to get sober.
Oh yeah.
that's what I really want to do. I want to do talks. I really do. I can do it with the guitar. I can do it without the guitar. I don't give two damn. The guitar is just a tool. It's just a part of my voice anyway. But um, that's what I really want to do. And plus, if I go out to a damn park, I pick up as much garbage as I can around me, so it looks pretty, and I throw it away or throw it in a bag. I carry garbage bag. I probably got 2 or 3 garbage bags in my case right now, so I try to do anything I can here and there, just make the world a little better. And I don't put it on film all the time because I don't know. I just like doing. Maybe I should. Maybe I'm screwing myself. People love that stuff.
Absolutely. And I was going to say, because in my neighborhood association, I sit, um, I have my membership in there and also sit on the rec council. And so really enjoy going out there and doing the mayor's cleanups. I've been doing that since 2007.
That's awesome.
Thank you. And I taught my children. I had my kids out there with me because everything I did, even with business, anything else, my kids, like, you got to
That's
learn.
even awesome.
You know what I mean? They sold products on their own and things like that. You know what I mean? So they got the feel of it all. But my thing was that it's always been through my parents. So, we have certain things that are not in common, but what we do have in common, I can appreciate the factor of the life that you had to live to come to this. And for me, it was something different, but I come to that same road, that same path. So,
Yeah. Sorry about.
no. I was going to say, did you have more that you wanted to say on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I could definitely. I was gonna say, the philanthropic path where you're trying to do more and put back in. I kind of hate money in a lot of ways, and that really is a screw job for me. But I still feel good. I want to keep pushing for this podcast. I want to be able to promote better. I'm off put by social media, but together we've done fundraisers like Warrant for Winter with Unseen Twisted Truths, and we've passed out coats to the homeless, and we've had public showers. And I want to be able to push that even further. I want to. Why aren't there more boxes, like emergency boxes, out, like public library? Those little wooden libraries you see in towns and stuff. There should be
Yeah.
little care packages with like tampons and band-aids and shampoo and soap and plastic bag. Just need some baby wipes or something.
And it would be beautiful to do that, but we always know somebody's going to steal, even if they don't need it.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
that's what the other flip side of society is that, okay, we got the solutions, but is everybody going to get on board?
You got to do a 30-second interview. Then you can steal it if you want. That's what I would do. Put yourself in the spotlight and then go away with your Rogaine or whatever we got. Yeah. It's some protein for sure. Plastic bags are hugely are a hugely requested item. Cleaning up parks. Okay, I've realized something. We need a better plan for breezes, electronic cigarette things. And I'm not endorsing them. We need a better plan for them though, because they're just all over these parks. And if I was a little kid, I would just pick it up and smoke it because I'm a little kid. And I think that's a huge problem.
Okay, yeah.
What else do I want to do? I want to do a ton of stuff. I don't know. I want to go flip a dumpster over and redistribute all the food that all these corporations are throwing out away en masse at all these dollar stores and give it back. Because it's fine.
It's wild that I started to hear more people who were setting up nonprofit organizations where they take a lot of that food and they distribute it out. And what one guy did, I thought it was really neat. He used it to where people can film or do certain things that they wanted to do. If you're like filming for a movie or something like that, people would come there so that way he could pay the workers. So I was like, wow, so it was just something that I was like, isn't that a, unique way? And I thought about, with either music or, whatever talents that people have, how they can use them uniquely to do something like that, to where you're saying, okay, really, you are throwing away way too much stuff. Like, come on now. You can give it to us for free, but no, but we, again, that's another topic. We're gonna throw these questions right out, and we'll be talking about something else, and I don't even care no more. I'd be like, whatever.
Well, it's absurdity. I can't stomach absurdity. I kind of. Does anyone else just wake up and look around and go, "Really? You're just letting a lot of this happen? Like you're not over it already?" And I know I sound crazy for saying that, but that's just absurd to me. A lot of things I see. They say people steal and they abuse systems and shit. And what I've realized being basically homeless, and my song "Drifter" is about drifting around being homeless, which I do, is it's really hard to like choose a life where you don't feel like you necessarily want a house or assets, or you're trying to build stuff up in your life. I know so many of my friends and people from my past who just hit rock bottom hard. Hell, my brother's like, I'm over this. I'm over the living situation I'm in. I want to go live in a tent and just save up money. And he's asking me if I can train him in bushcraft, and I'm like, yeah, probably. You eat real good out in the woods. Make your own makeup too, or plants and shit. Excuse me, my friend.
I love that. But you know what though? No matter what, we do need those survival skills, because growing up as a daughter of a military man and a police officer, I can say that what my father did in training up us as girls, as he was if he had sons, was amazing. And then my mother taught us too. It was like the perfect combination of teachable moments. Excuse me, my voice. Where is my
That's
juice?
like that. The weather is just an insane up and down roller coaster, at least by me.
You know, but the back to the survival and everything else. What is it? I'm going to drift off from the questions that we have here for just one moment, because what does it feel like to live in that tent and just not care of what you're seeing around you?
Well, you asked me the question earlier about on stage. The second best feeling is being out in the woods, like on state land, like on this big cliff, and I get up and I heat my coffee up on the fire, and I got my fresh cup of coffee, and I probably just smoke a bad bowl because I'm out in the woods and it makes me feel some type of way. And I watch the sun come up over that ridge, and I'm playing guitar, and there's a lot of wildlife around me, just kind of squealing and barking and chirping and hissing and buzzing, and I'm like, am I really a piece of crap for just enjoying this? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. And then Kimberly says, I own Unseen Twisted Trees. That's right, I'm an owner. Oh, let's see. You're damn straight, Kimberly. Thank you. But that's the second best.
You need to be telling me, wait a minute now, hold up. Y'all ain't going to, wait a minute now, we ain't going to have this. You should have sat up there and talked to me about this, so that way we can highlight that.
What's that? That I'm the owner?
Yes.
I need believe in myself lessons more. A lot of things.
Oh my goodness.
I have been so stressed out about things not going anywhere because Kimberly and I, we worked damn hard on this podcast, and it's been a couple of years now, and I don't want to shortchange people. I see some dumb shit on Facebook that's get monetized. People will just reshare videos, reshare videos, and they react to them or whatever. And that's fine and stuff, but I do want to focus on mental health. I do want to focus on music and mental health and making it the best. So really, I'm sitting here thinking, I want to believe in myself more. I want to put more of a product out of myself. So
you're in that transition in this moment.
Mm-hmm. It's been a weird life. It's just been weirder and weirder yet. It's a vicious world out there. It just is.
Yeah.
For certain. It really can be. Christy, I have a question
Yeah,
for you, real quick. You ever
absolutely.
seen You ever seen Into the Wild,
No.
the film, or the based on a true story of a guy who just leaves society, burns all the money in his pocket, and he travels across the country, like working on horse farms and living off the land, and he ends up dying out in the wilderness. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to spoil too much. I already spoiled everything, but it's just a real
No,
beautiful
that's
film.
okay, because I'll watch it anyway.
Go check it out. The message rings true. And someone's probably said in the comments like that guy was an a-hole in real life. Yeah, probably. But man, I'm a little bit of an a-hole too. I'm kind of over society, so I don't want to come off as a prick about it. I'm just like, man, I just don't care about your bank account.
Right.
Weird. Joey, my brother Joey Schul is. I'm a full-time slave, 2 jobs, living paycheck to paycheck, with rent is the illusion of comfort.
Hmm.
Joey's a hard-ass worker. Good man.
So that's who you were talking about on when he was calling you on the show, and you said you
No,
wanted
yeah,
to. Yes. Okay. Well, salute to
yeah, no,
you, sir.
yeah. I miss him. So it's been nice to catch up as much as we could. Joey's having a hard time. He's ready to go live in a tent too. And I'm like, yeah, save money up and upgrade to a crossover.
Right. I mean, I've watched I don't know. Because of being an outdoorsy person, you get to watch things, um, and know what other people can do. So I hear that your skills, you know what I mean, are pretty nice, and then you're able to teach your brother. It's wonderful. You know what I mean. That's something that is a true blessing when we can, just one person listens, you know what I mean? Like, it's no ego or nothing else. If you know something, who cares about this, that, and the third, listen. You might learn something, you know what I mean? And then when you learn it, you're like, oh, shucks, I could have done this 10 years ago. Right. But
Yeah, hindsight, that'll get you.
I want to spin this question for a moment. Your brother says thank you.
You're welcome, Joel. He's a good guy. Love him. Been through a
I
lot.
know that's right. That's what I want to hear. Because
Yeah,
we
really.
don't have that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sweetie.
No, I was rambling too.
No, I was just going to just about you, the both of you, that a lot of people don't even have one person that can step up to the plate in their own family. So it's beautiful to see that you guys have that bond.
Yeah, we stuck together through a series of very unfortunate events, and I think the human spirit is an incredible bonding agent to our world. We can get through a lot if we just find someone. I think there's always someone who's going to be willing to talk to you, maybe even at great length to a pestering degree. We just have to open our eyes.
So once that they do open up to you when you're out there on the streets, and forget about the naysayers. I want to hear about the positive feedback when you're going out there and just doing the interviews and all. How did the people respond to you?
Well, pretty well, honestly. I really like talking with people. Impromptu interviews. I was really shy and closed off in a lot of ways my whole life, and I've kind of dropped that completely, maybe even to a fault at times. But like, I had one homeless person come up to me. I didn't record any of this, but I was playing. He was talking about playing guitar, and then I finally said, "Yeah, you want to hear some music?" So I got out my guitar and I was playing some music for him. He's like, "That helped. he's like, honestly, I've been walking around here, and he's like, I wanted to be living. He said some violent stuff about really, really injuring people, and I got his name, which was Georgie, and he's like, after that though, I kind of feel a little better. I swear to goodness. And I sat and talked to him. I'm like, where are you from? He's like, from Boston. I'm like, yeah, you don't sound like you're from here. And I talked to him, and he left. And I came back the next day, and he walked up to me, and I'm like, hey man, Georgie, how you feeling? He's like, I'm doing okay. He's like, I didn't drink this morning, and I don't feel real crazy. And he's like, I'm gonna lay off any of the hard stuff that I've been doing. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you to stop doing any of that stuff, but I
Mhm.
feel bad. I don't want you to go to jail. I don't want you to hurt anybody or hurt yourself or throw it all away out in the street. I go, and then you can keep listening and playing music. I'm like, why don't you get a guitar? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, have a good day. So it was cool to have him on a first name basis the next day and just kind of check up on him, the local
Yes,
population. So that felt good. It was just a fun
that's
interaction. You can't buy those interactions.
exactly. And I thank you for sharing that because that's one of the things that, again, I didn't ask you for the full experience. I just want the positive because we know what comes with it. So that's something that is a beautiful story to listen to and really take in and say, wow, because as I've seen with your other stuff that you do, then I was able to really imagine that. And somebody coming up to you, the Georgie coming up to you and 2 days in a row and checking up on people is exactly what human nature is supposed to be. And so I salute you for having just that type of spirit anyway, to have gone through it, to have watched other people help them go through it, getting up, dusting yourself off, and really just knowing who you are and not what the world standard says that you should be when it comes down to how you value money, because everything's centered on the money. Your brother says I've been sober for 5 years. Salute to you. Yes, I know that's right.
He deserves
That's
it.
beautiful.
He deserves it. Joey didn't even talk about being sober for a long time, and I get it. I get it. I've seen so many people hop on Facebook. Oh man, I'm sober. I'm sober. Doing this meeting, going after meeting, going to meeting, and I'm like, man, that is good, but be careful about broadcasting that. That's something I can put out right now. Don't broadcast it right away. I mean, that's a strong suggestion is that you fall hard and people see it. You got to really do it for yourself. So make sure, even if you are broadcasting it, if you really want to go that route, make sure you're doing it yourself first before you're pressing post, or else you're just putting out. It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch people go dark. And I'm proud of Joey for not even talking or boasting about it and taking it in the most realistic aspect that he could. I'm proud of you, bud.
Salute again to you for doing what you're doing, sir. Keep doing it out there, because it isn't. I don't know why anybody thinks it's easy, because everybody's got something that they indulge too much into.
Oh
And,
yeah, definitely.
it's like we understand, certain things, and we're not going to be perfect, and we can't be perfect. And I don't want to be perfect, because then how boring would everything be? But it comes to that point where with his sobriety and all that, and and being able to share that with us, and I appreciate that, because this is one of those interviews that people are going to watch and really understand who you are and what your message is, because some people, like I said, when you see like a lump of coal, you're not seeing that diamond shine. I see you shining all the time, and I'm going to continue to use the word shine. And I think I'm going to start naming you Shine, because that's the word that comes straight to my mind. you know,
Don't hate it. I don't hate it. No. I keep the cool aspect though. I wear all black all the time. It's just kind of nice. I like it. I'm still.
yeah. Oh my goodness. What challenges have you face, and I'm not talking about like somebody coming up negatively, but like say for instance, I'll just set up the scene when you're out there with the homeless and everything else, just like anywhere else, a fight can break out. So like what are some of the challenges you faced when you were being around the homeless, and while those that were having addictions, while they were fighting their own demons and trauma, how how was it challenging for you to feel it, to live it right then and there?
Um, seeing people passed out right in broad daylight next to a traffic pole hits kind of hard. Um, because I was so close. I mean, I woke up in a store parking lot just in a pool of blood, my face all punched out and shit, and I was just kind of sleeping there. And my first inclination was, just sleep a little more in the parking lot. And then I see someone sleeping on the street, and it reminds me of the insanity I went through. And then it's a very deep and regretful sorrow for the time that they're wasting, the potential. I just really want to help. I look at the healthcare system as how do I water this one down a little bit? It's not a friendly business towards people. Rehab's expensive. Like I said, there's not enough resources, it seems, in the
You know
streets. And
what? I just believe, this is just my thoughts on that, that when it comes down to that particular topic, it's you want to keep a certain person down. You have to have people. It used to be slaves, then it used to be servants, then it used to be hostess or secretary, you know what I mean? But really it was just a different word, in a different way that people, it looked like when you were being abused. So you know what I mean, when somebody was being abusive, it just all throughout time, and we don't even have to go that far back. But we could take it back 50 years where, we women had to put up with that, kind of stuff because, okay, what are you going to do? And so now that we have a chance to move away from that and be able to do something about it, not getting so hysterical, but calling it out, and saying, yeah, okay, this is what happened, and, to be held accountable. Um, but the concerns for me is that when you're making food that is enriched with the things that you need, and they're telling you it costs this, it really doesn't. If you break it down, because if you really want people to last long, then they wouldn't be working so hard. How many people, we know some of them we definitely do, are 8 hours on their toes. But how many people really work 8 hours? Like, no break. I mean, you know what I mean? How many? So when you look at how many hours that we could be taking down, and work proficiently, all this stuff would make sense. But because time after time again, folks don't want to just really believe in saying we are equal. And I have a problem a little bit with a lot of people when they're saying we're equal, but that but comes in there. And that's risky business. So I don't know. Your thoughts?
my thoughts. I'm a luthier, and I'm not just my dad, my brother, even my father. We're luthiers, and not just luthiers. We're old Baroque style luthiers, and I love bushcraft. As I was telling Joey, I love being outside. I'm a modern looking kind of metro woman, if you want to call me. I will split wood from sun up to sundown. I'll dig you a trench, live in a survival shelter. I am all for being a conservationist or a conservative, if you will, of the old
Right.
ways and practices. I think it's a beautiful thing as we flow into the future with technology and things. Kind of having a cool steampunk-esque way of keeping our old traditions alive is a beautiful thing. That being said, too many people have the idea that this tradition that people actually gaining rights and equality detracts from theirs. That is nonsense. It really is nonsense. Equality, we should be way past where, even gender roles and shit like that even makes sense. We should be able to do what we want. We're not living in caves anymore. There's certain things we're just, do we need to be prepared for war? Why are we still warring? It's insanity to me. But we really got to try and get our shit together on that aspect of how we.
But it's all about who dominates.
Yeah, it's a problem.
And
we're not living in unity.
And since the beginning of time, how has it been where there's not been war and people got comfortable after us going to Vietnam and then within Russia, to make sure things are taken care of. But there's been people that have been born that don't understand nothing about war, don't understand nothing about what it means to, okay, your cell tower can go out. What are you going to do? Just even that basic notion puts people in panic attacks. And so I think that one of the things that I would say is that as many people that can still formulate a coalition, a democratic type of coalition amongst themselves. When I say democratic, meaning that everybody has some kind of vote on there, but there always has to be a justice system that works for the people. And I think that now that we've gotten into the age of technology, we've been able to see how the justice system was really designed. So when we look at that, we look at how they distribute medication, how they made alcohol, okay, let's go ahead and make it this way, instead of, you can make it a way where people don't get like that. You know what I mean? So they would have to drink a whole heck of a lot. You know what I mean? I don't think their bladders can handle all that. So
yeah, we're going to the upscale bar to have some Four Loko and Steel Reserve tonics. Something very high class. That's it's best drunk next to a dumpster in the alleyway and destroying your life with. I know, I did it. Yeah, we view alcohol really in a bad way now. The bomb pops are for kids. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah. To cut you off. That was important.
We're having a good time. I just enjoy, your company. Let me go ahead and ask you something, because let's do this. I'm going to play S.G.F. Graham's song before I ask you about bringing some positive vibes to everybody and getting a little bit in of what you want to have the last say for Selfie Care Saturday. So while you think on that, let me go ahead on over here to the music and look, because I have a long list. Now it's like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
This person, that person, like, how do you guys manage that over there?
It's nuts. Computers.
Oh, I know what I have to do. Oh my goodness. Okay, I have to download it from my email. I thought I downloaded it because why? I don't know.
By the way, Kimberly, I love you too.
Huh?
She said, Kimberly said, I love you. I said, I said, I love you too.
Oh, yes.
But you're downloading it right now. Yeah, that's why we'd be charging $5-10 to skip ahead and everything on Twisted Radio. It's a scary bit. You might shut down your whole life with one accidental click. And it's like, yeah, we like to add the music. That's what we say it before.
Well, we're
Send it.
gonna go ahead and play "Cash Flow" by at Jay the Don Jizza up there in Germany. Thank you. He is the executive producer of my track, Cat French Cafe. I appreciate you. We're gonna listen to "Cash Flow" while I do this transitioning and all this good stuff. All right, hold on, y'all.
Let's do it. I love music. Ooh, I'll be right back.
On the beat.
What is going on? Okay. I see what's happening. As soon as I go to download it,
I had my mic muted. It's I wish I could help you more. This is the aspect that kills me a little bit, not the talking part. It's fat feet.
oh, I know what I. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let's do it this way. Oh, shoot. Okay. You know what? I'm just touching things. I don't even know why I'm touching anything. Okay, here it is. I just didn't have his name behind it. Striving for. Oh, about. Wait a minute. Is it striving for about to? About to strive for? I don't know. That's what it says on here. Striving. I guess I'm just going to say striving. Because I want to get into this real quick. Let's go, y'all.
You hear that? Ooh,
SGF Graham.
that sound good right there. I know you wondering what I'm gonna do to this. You know me, strive for happiness. Let's hope that muscle music so the guy can show you how we do this. SGF Graham, let's go. Yeah. Myself so I can minimize confusion. Stay away from floozies, I don't need no help with losing. That looks good on you, keep doing what you're doing. Sold up some knowledge with action, that's wisdom now on polish. Had me a mentor, now mentoring those pursuing godly. Yeah, practice what I'm preaching, I ain't out here falling. Perfect and perfect, often imperfect, I love some naughty. Low when she ride like a super cover with Kawasaki. No, she ain't Spanish, touch her with hands and she call me Poppy. I can get it from any queen, so what's in your noggin? Tell me what you thinking, I can see your heart then. It's pretty, the sunshine, there's an equal darkness. Your water flow, which direction your river carving. Negative often, that's the reason I got a carbon. Adopt the thoughts like you coming with me if I am falling. No, that ain't the mission, I can't help it that I was taught it. Said it so much now I mean it, downloaded, installed it. Me going out without mine, include the church is awkward. Where I'm from, Sparkle City taught me to move with caution. Either that or sleep the nights, turning and tossing. Check it, even air change with negative forces. Approaches, don't let your ego ignore what the all give. Reach out if you fall in, I heard we can all win. Tired of struggling, striving for some happiness. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta go for it. Stop worrying about how it's just going. No handout, they the all for what is given. Pass up the rock, cause I had to pick up my pivot. Devil that went beyond my get shifted, kicking with instinct. I'm
This is
just
so
trusting,
nice.
it's hard to see what I'm thinking. Mom said treat the words we can, cause you a profit. Your children go here to see how you win and they wanna follow it. They gon' wanna change the beats and words to keep it poppin'. All the high fives for the suits and ties, all they see is profit. Colonel in the microwave, here the ding, time to stop it. They ain't feeding nothing but prison in their pocket. They ballin' in RP, they need a GoFundMe. The baller just alone, you still owe, so they came and got it. Your algorithm don't lie, what it say about you. Prejudice is sad shit, or those striving to live proper. Learning the DIY, oh let me guess you a club popper. Learning to dance, see what they wearing, you a showstopper. Late on the latest trend, but up early, talk to all in all. Got me as I trek, am I scared? That's not at all. Learning from the falling art of war, silence over talk. Op only know what you tell her, what I'm talking about. Dollars with my tribe, what I want, you can have the clout. Go when recession hit the fan, we like where's the drop? We don't talk no negative, just manifest, boy, watch your mouth. Price is stupid high, but we eating good down in the south. 42 acres, 20 for farming, yeah, that's my vision. Who am I harming? Yeah, black men are thinking, ring the alarm. Heard segregation might be back. Who are they harming? Show me who don't want me there. Only wanting my money, I'm only rocking mine. Or maybe sire kicks for the summer. I remember what you said, still ain't rocking no tummy. I'm tripping, they like chill, go roll up, but I ain't said nothing. Tired of the struggle, striving for some happiness. Yeah. Stop being tired of the struggle. Strive for the happiness. Tired of struggling.
So that's right.
That was nice. Oh, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, I absolutely really enjoy his music.
SGF's underrated. He's a unique artist. Heck, my favorite track of his is actually Footwork. That's a dope ass song. I do like it. Much love, SGF. Mwah.
Yeah, one love to you, brother. You know, it's always good to have something cooking in the works, and I see that within him, he definitely will be somebody that is going to. I think this is going to be his year. For some reason, it just tells me that it's going to be his year in the music and what he's doing, because he has that trusting of old school, but within in the new school, era. Like meaning that
absolutely.
it's something that, like when Run DMC came out, but that's their group. But let's say LL Cool J. And people like that who came out on their own single and just wiped it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that as soon as he can get right at that right spot, he definitely, can really get with the hardest of hitters out here. I think that the indie artists are going to take over and take control because we do have the power of the internet, that we're able to go ahead and say, you know what, this is what we're going to be able to, to do. So I definitely want to go ahead and ask you the questions. And then what I will do is that instead of playing my normal outro song, I will play his song, Somewhere in America, and close the show out with that. Show, we always show love here on Journey at Gems with Farley and Friends. And we thank you all, you guys, for coming in and watching us on, my segment here every Saturday. It's Selfie Care Saturday. We are talking with the phenomenal Henry Cole. Okay, go ahead and shake a little bit. Shake them shoulders a little bit for me.
So I had to tell Kimberly this. Don't feel bad. Nobody knows how to do it. My last name's actually pronounced Shul, like shoe.
I knew it. I said to myself, you know what? I'm just at that age where I'm okay when I get the beat down for it, because I don't know.
You're good. You're good. It doesn't make any sense, and I'm like the only family in America who has the name, really. So.
But that's really very unique. So say it again for us.
Shul. Ciul.
Oh, neat.
Kimberly couldn't get it right for over a year. She still has a problem. She's a doll.
I understand though at times. Like I'll be like, say that again. They be like, like what? We told you like
It's
50 times. Like, okay.
well, initially we thought it was Polish, because my grandpa's last name, he come from Poland. But
Right.
upon further examination or hearing that it's actually of almost like Latin descent, so Latin
That's
lover,
brilliant to find out
love it.
where you're from and that yeah, because I don't see that name, and so you definitely are going to be even more unique because you got a unique name, so you have to
It's
be
I never changed
fabulously
it.
you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
So,
go like Thunder Dragon or not stupid.
oh my goodness. So, what positive vibes do you want to share with us tonight?
Oh, there's so many.
Take your time.
Let me think here. You know, you see them people sleeping on the streets I was talking about, and then maybe you get some moments of self-reflection where you think I'm a f up, or people think you're a fuck up.
Hmm.
That is really it can be temporary. And if it's the self-inflicted wounds of pain, grief, trauma, and you just keep reopening them on this journey of insanity with substances, downward spiraling, it can be temporary. It really can be over. Um, I mean that. I watched it fail so many times, but I watched it not fail. Heck, you had my brother on the podcast commenting. There's two cases right there, and it doesn't have to be. And you really got to follow your gut instinct on it. Uh,
Hmm.
there's so many different pathways to it, and people will tell you them, and at great length. But just make sure it feels right. I do believe that there's a certain path, and it starts feeling right, it'll feel right. So I leave everybody with that sentiment that there's always someone out there who's going to want to talk to you. You can find them. I mean, at this point, hopefully, we can just type in podcast, and you'll get so many options, and it's crazy. We're already there. But I'm there. Christy's here, I'm sure. Kimberly's there. We're growing a network of people to do more better and positive things because this world is yearning for it. It needs a big hug. There's nothing wrong with that. So keep doing music. If music wasn't important, there wouldn't be USO shows entertaining our best, our warriors. So just follow that path. Have faith that something's got to break here. We're entering a new age, a new dawn. Technology is getting crazy, and the more people flowing with it in a positive way, looking out for each other, understanding each other's differences, and coming together about it and talking, can't go wrong
Right,
there. Let's keep it
right.
open. That's my sentiment.
Yeah, that's something to that I appreciate that you said, tonight because it's something that we can all just understand and know that we do have the choices to be able, and we do have more resources here in America than anywhere else. So there are people like yourself that are out there that really want to go ahead and let people know that I hear you, I see you, and I love you. And so I watched a gentleman that I was on a podcast with several times, and he lives in Canada, and so they do a whole uh go put a love note on a tree. So he
Hmm.
kind of started a bit of where started happening to where a chain of people started joining him and just doing that. And I said, "Oh my gosh." So it was really wild.
I
Um,
believe it.
like so with that being said though, not to go any further within the depths of it because I think that really gave us a ton of things to think about, even for me to go back. And I hate when I keep saying a lot of ums. Dag nabbit, now I'm trying to get better at that. You know,
Ums are bad. They discourage ums on the podcast. That's hard not to. I a
right? And
lot.
I'm like, you know better. You know better. Like Christy, you know better. Like, dag nabbit, now all the education and for what? Like, no, I'm just playing.
Um, hey, thanks for commenting, everybody. By the way, yeah, Cyrus SGF Graham. He's a member of our podcast too. He is a prophet indeed.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
I put Queen Kimberly's message in there because while you were talking, you know, to try to catch up on some of these before I close out the
Right.
show. I definitely just wanted to just show a few things while while we're wrapping it up, sweetie, because I really appreciate this time with you. I know I could go on and on.
We could talk all night, I'm sure. There's so many topics.
I know, and that's one of the things that I would love to do is just like be on the phone with you, just talking, you know, or just seeing you in person and just being in that company. Like we don't get a chance to really be around the people that we want to, you know, actually sit there and say, yeah, you know, I want to hang with this person, you know, and just.
I'm telling you, a hug and a cup of coffee with everybody I know. It sounds great. Or tea.
So how can people connect and follow you?
Sadly, Facebook at the moment. Yeah, that's my Facebook Messenger. That's the fastest way. I am on Instagram. You can get a hold of us through Unseen Twisted Truths. And God, we're on LinkedIn. We're on everything. So yeah, that's a good way to get a hold of me is through the podcast Unseen Twisted Truths. But of course, Henry and the Henry Schul Show are my two Facebook pages. And Messenger is always that's just how I get around. I could put my number out there like that Mike Jones guy, huh? Who? But I'm not going to do that because it sounds like I'm inviting a lot of trouble. You got to text back and forth with me a few times first. And, yeah, I'm out there. Mostly Facebook. Mostly Facebook is how you get a hold of me.
Okay, that's wonderful because I know that, you know, after this show that everybody's going to be wanting to know, and I want people to get it out there. And of course, I'll add more details in here when we're off of here. But I thank you so much, my darling, for joining me tonight. Again, we salute to everybody that came in tonight and those that will be watching. We thank you. We hope that you enjoy it. And we're closing out with SFG Graham. Did I say it right?
SGF, and I have dyslexia too. I do that. Numbers, I'm terrible.
You know what?
I'm just good.
I
was
won't even admit what's wrong with me. That I won't even admit it right now. But
no. I plead the fifth on this. Yes. And I look like an idiot because my loving boyfriend just dropped me up a cup of coffee. He's a sweetheart, and I love him.
Oh, that's great.
That's why I was like,
say hi to him. Hi.
He's already gone. No.
Yeah, but say hi to him for us.
I will. I certainly will. He's a peach.
Okay, so what you'll do for me, darling, is you tell me what the it's somewhere in America by
SGF Graham.
We thank you guys for watching this edition of Selfie Care Saturdays. I will be back on 9 with another interview. We thank you, Henry Schul.
It's weird. It's weird. It making sense.
I'm coming back, y'all. I'm coming back alive. Take care, my darling. Much love to you, and we will talk soon. Thank you.
You from where I'm from, then I understand. I understand that pain, that loss. I can't take no more.
I might not been through it with you,
Help spend some use, trust and code.
but I get it. That confusion,
Love sees crush.
feel like your breath ain't heard. Listen, yeah.
Somewhere in America, I can't take no more. Gotta work to be broke. Hey, hey, depression there, but search for hope. Help spend some use, trust and code. Pray for yeah, all I hear is no. Get your both and switch it up. Divide and conquer, let us see us crush. Hey, hey, no other place going through just as much. I'm more, but we claim this land of freedom. Hey, get up and try again. In a land with a rich system. Lot of home, no dad, where's him? I was told I could blame it on slavery, baby, no love but the child in the field. Generations on generations don't know the truth of the beginning, but the ideal of their ending. Violent death or it's a prison. Risking life for Benjamin. Prior her had to beg for help in the land of freedom, need to hit again. Yearly race got 50 cents at the same time, race the rent again. Ain't that some shit? You heard about the build up signed by the government? Which one? All them bitches, especially the one that was passed on crisis and epidemics. In the South, found a church in the ABC near it. Too many spirits. People being negative, really they screaming out for help, but nobody hear it. Somebody out here giving they motherfucking best, but nobody cheering. Black lives only matter once every 4 years, and the rest is mirrored. Whole damn words, if forgive and forget, I forgive when the lies are cleared. Notice ain't say forget. I'm thinking where era gonna be great again. I can't take no more. Gotta work to be broke. Hey, hey, depression there, but search for hope. Help us fix use trust and cope. Pray for yeah, all I hear is no. Get your both and switch it up. Divide and conquer, let us see us crush. Hey, hey, no other place going through just as much. I'm more, but we claim this land of freedom. Hey, they try to lay on me like Snoopy, I ain't dumb. I got some practice on site at the beef and where I'm from. I moved away, all I saw devil probably prison. They found a place that I feel safe without a gun. I'm living in a war zone. Bitches low key cutthroat. These niggas won't let me live. Relapse was that don't know. Gotta grind to pay my bills. Let the grind show me who's real. Women try though you once get healed. Must one identity here. America.
Keep your head up, shine bright like the sunny skies. And if it's dark, be the
Somewhere in
moonlight.
America.
Excuse me for my explicitness. Add the
We love you, everybody. Goodbye.